Triple A, credits alright. Hang up the phone and let your heart break. Only in LA, 24 twice. She's on the...
What my sound preferences are. I like bass. And if it can have quantity and quality, yeah, I'm rocking it. Especially mid bass. I like the slam over the sub bass rumble. I like my mids super clean. Not a big fan of overly colored, overly thick, overly warm mids. Not a big fan of that. And highs that are very sweet and seem to be able to keep up without ever being overbearing or in your face. So,
but he's not the one who pulls away. That ain't enough to turn the page. Leash is off, suit is on point. Won't cause a scene or stir up no clash. On second thought, Venice by fourth. She's on the job, but she's staying on Wilshire Boulevard. Old dreams dying hard. He wants you to return his love. Breathing in the dark, weightless, working hard. He wants you to return his love. Now he's bleeding, diamonds on you, but that ain't enough to turn the page. He's kneeling, wants to feel no, but he's not the one who pulls away. That ain't enough to turn the page. No, 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 no. That ain't enough to turn the page. He's not the one thing. Oh, you got enough on your plate. Got enough on your plate. He's not the one, babe. No, you should've known it's too late. Should've known it's too late. Yeah, yeah, I should've known.
welcome back. This is the Tone Deaf Monk. And let's get going here. This is, sometimes there's hype and then it's not so much hype. Well, it's still hype, but it's not legit. And then there's the hype that gets circulated around in conversations, in forums, in threads, and you read that, and there's enough people who buy something genuinely and not get a free sample like myself to and their and their feedback, their observations, their opinions, and their sound impressions of the InAwaken Dawn MS. Strange name, and I'm not sure what the MS means, but we'll just call it the Dawn from now on. But reading through all that, getting all that, it just had me interested. So I reached out to InAwaken, and sure, lo and behold, they did provide this for me. So thank you, and I'm sure glad you did. Now, you went through the beginning of my video. If you're new to this channel, you've just watched that. And if you're not new to my channel, you've skipped to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Because that's where the yakking begins. This IM is $49. Comes with a nice little case. Comes with a nice little cord. 3.5 single-ended. But an SPC, and it's nice and soft. They give you one of those shirt killers, which you should immediately get and throw it away. I wish actually manufacturers would start including like little leather ones. That would be really nice instead of these shirt killers. So This one had me intrigued, and we'll talk about larger dynamic drivers. And I've tried a bunch now, and I think after this, I think it's about third or fourth, some things came to me that in an epiphany, no less. But let's talk about, and the normal dynamic drivers we see out in the market are 10 millimeter. And then there's the occasional 8 millimeters and the rare 6 millimeter or 7 millimeter dynamic drivers, or a combination thereof. But this one is a single dynamic 11.2 millimeter, and they call this a purple and gold sputter coated dynamic driver. It's basically a very, very thin layer over top, a polyurethane cone, more than likely. And if you don't know what a PU cone in those little descriptions, basically it's plastic. And they're great for some sound It's interesting cone materials. And I'm not sure if you guys pay attention to cone materials like I do. And working with in my past, working with a speaker manufacturer, we used to make paper cones, we used to make polyurethane cones, and we used to make Kevlar cones as well. And they all had a different sound to them. And we used a combination thereof in the sub drivers and the mid drivers and upwards. Anyway, moving on. It also uses a N52 magnet structure. What does that mean to you when you hear that? Well, typically it means they developed, in this case, it's a self-developed driver for InAwaken, that they used better materials. And in the motor structure, the magnets that they used were a very, very high quality called N52. Now, why does that matter? Well, it also matters that it can create a high flux density that's what's called around the voice coil to move the cone and have very good control over the cone movement. So motor structures do make a difference. Not only do they make this IM more efficient, easier to drive, but they also have a big play into the way the driver acts and behaves. Now, this one has 110 dB sensitivity at 32 ohms, which is quite sensitive and fairly easy to drive in my observations as well. It uses a bass superposition system, which is basically a air pressure system. It's a little tube. You can kind of see that in the... oh my God, did I not? Oh, I got a whole chain of stuff going on over here. Wow, Monk. I didn't even talk about the IM. I just jumped right into it, right? There's a little tube. You can see it. Oh, you can see it there. They're right there. And it goes from the front of the cavity of the driver to the rear of the cavity. And it's an air pressure balance system. And they use this to obviously control some of the cone movement. With that, they say they do this to enhance the bass response. And in fact, I'm going to talk about sound in a bit. I really do enjoy this sound of this IM. Spoiler alert. I've got mine on a Effect Audio Cadmus 2 cable I'm testing. To be fair, over the stock cable, it added an extra element or two of the to enhance the upper hand. I find a really good silver SPC cables do that, and this is one of them. But it sounds great on the stock cable as well, right? I'm just tweaking, and not that way, right? Comes only in 3.5. That's not what you think it is, by the way. Whatever you're thinking it is. 3.5 single-ended only. Nice cable, nice case, whatever. Sound. Hold on. It was pretty tasty, actually. All right. On the Onyx XM5, I'm jumping into sources because it plays a huge difference in everything you do. When you're watching videos again, peeps, it's a couple things to pay attention to. The reviewers Likes and dislikes. Again, you know what music I listen to from my library. I've said that. I'm open and honest about that. My sound preferences, again, clip at the beginning. So you should know that about your reviewer that you're watching or reading about. They should say that. Also, for me, sources are a bone of contention for people who don't mention their sources, because it makes a huge difference in the chain. Absolutely does. Colors, and I'm going to show that to you in this review just a little bit. I was thinking about this, right? Now, on the Onyx XM5, I'll first describe what that source does, and this is a DAP, and how it might affect the observations of my listening impressions of the Dawn MS. Well, this source is warmer. It has neutral sounding mids that are very uncolored. It does add some bass fullness. It's one of the special mojos of that DAP. Great stage and smooth treble. That's how that DAP sounds. Now, the Dawn MS, how does it sound on that source? Well, so smooth. Great bass. My kind of bass, mid bass, great punch and dynamics, great layering in the bass. It's one of these few that you can get great stereo bass because it has enough energy down below. I have no complaints about the timbre of instruments. Sound great. Guitar, kick drums, piano, cello. What about strings? Again, I honestly... Does it have the most air and extension? No, this IM does not. Would it favor lower harmonic instruments? Yeah, I think it does. Would I still listen to this? And I did, on classical music and Tina Gao, my favorite cellist. I did, and zoned out, right? Maybe not perfect, uncolored. Didn't matter. I just really liked the way it emotionally played back my music. And that, to me, is the most important part, right? I don't like sterile sound. I don't like boring sound. I like stuff that's going to move me. Music is emotion. Does it do it for me? Yeah. Does it do it for me at $49? Hell yeah, right? I love the tonality of the Dawn with male vocals as well as female. Let's give you some tracks. Exile. So this is a duet, right? Taylor Swift and Bon Iver. Piano was great. I'm reading my notes. But vocals were silky smooth. They really were. Natural, warm, clean. Maybe, like I said, maybe a hint of warmth and maybe a smidge of thickness to Taylor's vocals. But not enough to make her sound off, just more analog sounding. Yes, I like the Dawn very much on this song. Dangerous by Cardinal, Offshall, and Akon. Bass, not the lowest or the deepest I've heard, but it's really no slouch. And it doesn't complain about doing any bass. Deepest, lowest notes, busy passages with lots of information up top, and I'll get into some rock tracks. No problem keeping up. But the vocals were so damn good. So on like other genres like rap and reggae, I think this IM is probably just okay. But when it comes to rock, jazz, it's a big hell yes for me. She Hates Me by Puddle of Mudd. The rock and the Dawn is a wicked combo. Lots of bass punch, great vocals, screaming guitars that don't make you cringe, especially at very high volumes. Just saying. Test it. Switch up sources. DC Elite. This dongle is incredible. It's brutally honest. It is super clean. It's super uncolored. It's very articulate. Lots of good things going for it. Will it? When I say brutally honest, if something sounds bad, something sounds off, it will pick it out. It will let you pick it out. So, to be honest, It did absolutely bring out the most details and the resolution in the music, and especially instrumental. But it lost the warmth of the Onyx. And for me and my preferences, I preferred the more colored sources. And it just plays well, I think, into the Dawn's natural character on those more organic analog warmer sources, whatever you want to call it. And speaking of which, let's throw it on the Onyx. See, I mean, not everyone's going to have an $800 DAP. Not everyone's going to have a $500 dongle, but you might have one of these, which is like $100, right? And if you do, fantastic. It's a great little dongle. I keep talking about it. Though it's a love-hate relationship with this thing, because it wouldn't actually power up off of my Onyx DAP. It wouldn't power the Onyx dongle. I actually have to use that splitter, the CB19 from my Basso, and do it that way to power up this thing. Because I guess it just draws too much power, or this thing doesn't have enough power out of the USB. Regardless, didn't work. Got it to work. Great combination. Love-hate relationship. Big stage. Natural sounding. Colored. It goes from colored actually to neutral with this dongle. And some dongles with some combinations, you aren't able to hear the different filters. This is one of these sources that, for me, made a noticeable difference. So the sound profile kind of went from colored to neutral depending on how you did it. The filters just made a really big difference. No oversampling was actually my favorite, so no filters. I could listen to this combo all day. Fire Escape by Charisma. So fun, so excellent. Rock with volume at 11. Yeah. Overall, it's just an excellent IM for $50. Great, full, textured bass, wonderful timbre, tonality, and in the mids, enough trouble to keep up without getting sibilant or spicy. It's just a really well-tuned, easy to listen to IM. Because it has enough upper mids to carry with great vocal clarity that can keep up with the bass. And enough treble to pick out the hi-hats and cymbal crashes for rock. I mean, oh my. Let's finish with this. Turn the Page. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. I mean, epic, right? Live at Cobo Hall in Detroit, 1975, remastered version. This track, just overall, for me, summarizes why the Dawn is so... I said likable. I was going to say lovable. Big open stage, wicked clarity for the vocals. And those vocals will give you old fogies, flashbacks from when you were there if you were lucky enough to be there live. Epic replay. Love this Purple Driver. Love this IM. Short and sweet. Good job. InAwaken.